Dear student, in the previous class, we were studying photosynthesis and particularly the part in photosynthesis, the source of evolved oxygen is water, not the CO2. In that context, I have already discussed you about the Van Neel experiment, and Van Neel experiment was on bacterial photosynthesis, and in bacterial photosynthesis, sulfur was the byproduct, not oxygen, because instead of water, H2S is taken there. After that, Robin Hill also confirmed the same facts. His work was on isolated chloroplast, and in the absence of CO2 fixation, he noticed that oxygen evolved from water. But the conclusive proof that the source of evolved oxygen in photosynthesis is water, not CO2, was given by Rubin and Kamen, and his experiment was on heavy isotopes of oxygen. The oxygen of CO2 was leveled with O18. The oxygen of water was unleveled. So the product, that is the carbohydrate, was leveled with O18 plus water was also leveled with O18, but the evolved oxygen was unleveled. So this step confirmed that the source of evolved oxygen is water, not CO2. In the another experiment, he just leveled the oxygen of water with O18. In that case, the product CH2O, that is the carbohydrate, was not leveled with O18. Water was also unleveled, but oxygen was leveled with O18. So here he conclusively proved that the source of this evolved oxygen was water, not CO2. So in this way, now the revised equation for photosynthesis is 6CO2, 12H2O, light, chlorophyll, C6H12O6, 6H2O plus 6O. This is the revised equation for photosynthesis. Now I am going to start about the mechanism of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is two-step process. One is dependent on light and it is called light reaction. Another one is independent of light and it is called dark reaction. But dark reaction is dependent on the product of light reaction. That is, the product of light reaction is the source of energy in dark reaction. Now I am going to start with the light reaction. We know that photosynthesis occurs in visible spectrum of light. The wavelength of visible spectrum of light is 400 nm to 700 nm. The main steps of photosynthesis are: first one, absorption of light energy by chlorophyll A molecule. Mainly photosynthesis absorbed in the blue and red spectrum of light. Suppose this is the wavelength blue light and this is the red light. This is the red light. So mainly photosynthesis, light absorption is in this. So chlorophyll A absorbed light in blue and red spectrum of light. Second step is absorption of light energy by accessory pigments. All the pigments other than chlorophyll A are called accessory pigments like chlorophyll B, carotenoids, etc. The third step is transfer of light energy from accessory pigments to chlorophyll A by resonance. Resonance means by changing the frequency. Chlorophyll A alone takes part in photosynthesis. Chlorophyll A alone takes part in photosynthesis. Now the fourth step is excitement of chlorophyll A molecule by photon of light. Any molecule, suppose like chlorophyll A, is in ground state. In ground state, the electron revolve around the nucleus and this is called the ground state. Now by absorbing light, this electron move from ground state to excited state. Now this nucleus has more control over this electron than this nucleus, and this state is called excited state. Any molecule can exist in this state only up to 10 to the power minus 8 seconds. If beyond this time period it wants to stay in this state, the extra light energy will be converted into heat energy and the whole structure will burnt out. So there are two ways by which it can return from this excited state to ground state. One state is it will return to ground state by losing the extra light energy, but in this process it has to lose its electron also. This emission of electron is visible and this phenomenon is known as fluorescence. Another method is from this excited state it return to slightly low energy state. Slightly low energy state. This state is called triplet state. In this state, any electron can exist up to 10 to the power minus 3 seconds. That is much longer than the excited state. But within this time period, it has to return to its ground state by losing the extra energy. In this process also, it will lose its electron. This emission of electron is also visible, and this phenomenon is known as phosphorescence. So, in this process, chlorophyll molecule has to lose its electron either by the method of fluorescence or by the method of phosphorescence. Just to understand the story of this electron, here we should know some basic facts. Like, first one is ray drop. Emerson and his co-workers, while determining the quantum yield of photosynthesis, notice that the quantum yield of photosynthesis decreases beyond red light, that is wavelength more than 700 nm. Since this sharp decline in quantum yield of photosynthesis took place near the red spectrum of light, that's why this phenomenon is known as ray drop. So the graph is like this. This is blue light, this is red light. Absorption peak is like, and after that the quantum yield of photosynthesis sharply declined. Since this sharp decline in quantum yield of photosynthesis took place near the red spectrum of light, that's why this phenomenon is called ray drop. Now I am going to explain the immersion enhancement effect. Emerson and his co-workers later on found that this quantum yield of ineffective far red light become fully efficient if it is supplemented with shorter wavelength of light. First, they determine the quantum yield of photosynthesis by using shorter wavelength of light and longer wavelength of light separately. This is the quantum yield. Now they used both the light combined. The quantum yield of combined beam of light was found to be greater than both the light, sum total of both the light used separately. And this enhancement in quantum yield of photosynthesis is referred to as immersion enhancement effect. The result of immersion enhancement effect clearly indicates that in photosynthesis, two pigment system works. So I am going to explain the concept of two pigment systems. They are known as pigment system 1 PS1 and pigment system 2 PS2. The basic difference between PS1 and PS2 is the reaction center of PS1 is P700, whereas the reaction center of PS2 is P680. PS1 is located on outer surface of thylakoid, PS2 located on inner surface of thylakoid. PS1 is associated with reduction of NADP to NADPS2. This is indirectly PS2 donates its electron to PS1 when the electron of PS1 is drained off in reducing NADP to NADPS2. Another major difference is PS1 associated with both cyclic and non-cyclic photophosphorylation, whereas PS2 is associated with only cyclic photophosphorylation. PS1 is not associated with evolution of oxygen, whereas PS2 is associated with evolution of oxygen. This is basic difference between the two pigment system, that is PS1 and PS2.